What up everybody, I'm Bosco Too Fast, and today this video is going to mainly consist of my streaming upgrades that I've done to my rig. I got some of the stuff new, and I got some of the stuff used on Facebook Marketplace. If you guys aren't on Marketplace looking for sim gear, you're seriously messing up, because that's a crazy place to get good deals. So right now I'm just going to dive into what I've done to be able to stream. Okay, starting from inside the rig, the first thing that I ended up picking up was this Wave XLR by Elgato. I got this for 50 bucks on Marketplace, 75 shipped to my door because it was in another city. Having this XLR Wave by Elgato here makes it really easy to just mute and unmute, and you can obviously change all your settings. But it's not necessary. You can also get an XLR dock for your Stream Deck Plus and run all the same things, but you don't have that mute function like I just showed. The next thing I ended up getting was this Elgato. It's the Low Pro version 2 mic arm, and it is pretty awesome. I can actually, I don't want to do it right now, but I can put it down and fold it over behind here. So it's completely out of the way. I can't hit it with my shoulders. It's off to the side a little bit. It's a little bit further off to the side than what I wanted, but I found that the closer it was to my mouth, it was actually blocking the view of the side window on my screen. So this is how I'm running it right now. So as you probably know, I already had this Stream Deck Plus from my last upgrades, and I've been loving this thing. But now this is actually, when I'm streaming, I have a dedicated page just for streaming. It can switch between all of my scenes and record and pause and stop streaming, and I have volume controls. And speaking of things that I already had, I'm into music production. So I had this old AKG Perception 420 condenser microphone. It's a studio condenser. It's not necessarily optimal for a small room like this that's untreated, but it's working. Once you have the sound from the sim playing, you basically can't hear any of the noise floor or anything over that anyway. So right now, this is how I'm rocking it. The Elgato Wave XLR came with an XLR cable, but I had a couple too. But again, I found a Wave XLR with a XLR cable for 50 on Marketplace. Currently, I see people selling them for 100 bucks. There is a V2. So if you need to get a lower noise floor or a better mic, you might just want to get a Elgato V2 version of this. You can use any audio interface like a Focusrite or M Audio, anything. So maybe even have something like that already. And the advantage to getting something like a M Audio or a Focusrite is that they actually have the ability to run two two self-powered speakers on the rig, which I do not have right now. But again, this is a streaming video, so if you're streaming, you're going to be rocking headphones anyway. So speaking of headphones, I picked these up at Walmart for 79 bucks on clearance. The cheapest I could find them was almost 200. These are the X2 Pros. They're not the, or maybe these are the X Pros. My bad, these are the X Pros. These are the wireless version. I ended up rocking the wireless version for a couple reasons. So I initially picked up these headphones for $120, and then I ended up returning them to Walmart. No, they were almost 200, 180, and I returned them because they were wireless. I thought they were Bluetooth, and then I had a deal on the X2 versions for 120 on Marketplace that fell through. And then when I was driving home back from my mom's house, I found these on clearance at Walmart for 79 bucks, 89 bucks with tax. So I just had to take them. It was just too good to pass up. I bought them in case I needed them, but ironically, this Wave XLR has a headphone jack built into it. So my PC being on the other side of the room, I was having this issue originally where I needed to get a headphone extension from over there, or run a USB extension to the little USB headphone dongle they come with. And so this Elgato Stream Deck Wave XLR, sorry, it actually made the entire setup worthwhile, and I'm not having any issues. I can actually stow, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, I can stow the headphones on this hook right here that the Elgato arm mounts with. It's pretty much out of the way, haven't had any issues so far. The cord's plenty long, it's not bothering me at all. So the other advantage to going wireless is that you now have a setup that has zero latency. There's zero latency on a pair of headphones. So yeah, that's how I'm rocking the sound. I'll also say that having the headphones, it's quite a bit different. It took me some getting used to. You hear a lot more like road noise and tire squeal and body panels kind of thumping around than I did rocking this Bluetooth speaker. And also now I can basically race in the middle of the night and I don't have to worry about my girlfriend being bothered. I should say being bothered as much, because the 27 Newton meter bass, when the ABS kicks in, you can definitely hear it through the floors and the walls and everything. But when she's asleep, she really doesn't even notice. Okay, the next upgrade that I did for the streaming setup is I upgraded from the ON 1440p webcam to this Insta360 Link 2C Pro. This is a huge censored DSLR-like webcam, super high end. I got this new for about $235. So I did that because the ON webcam was actually, it was like glitching out, but I think it's something to do with the OSB Studio doesn't always link to your game or to your devices. So yeah, I didn't need it. So once I ended up replacing it, it was a little bit smaller field of view, and I ended up deciding, hey, rather than selling this ON webcam, I will just hook it up onto the pedals as a pedal cam. So at that point I had two cameras running in the stream setup, and I was just learning how to use OSB, and it was actually quite cool. And again, you can see here on the Stream Deck you have pedal cam, face cam, chat, be right back, cockpit view. I'll get to cockpit view in a second. So I was actually on Facebook Marketplace one day, and I noticed someone near me is selling an Elgato green screen. So this thing's pretty trick. It actually sits on the floor, it folds out, and you can actually stow it away really easy without any effort. So I can get into the rig really easily, but at the same time, I now have a green screen to, I don't know, elevate the stream or just hide anything in the background, because I haven't really set up the room with any decorations yet. It's basically just all white walls with the rig. So this is the most recent addition to my setup. This is the DJI Link 2 non-pro version. I got this for $100 on Facebook Marketplace. $125 shipped to my door by a nice fellow on Marketplace. This is about a $200 webcam, and I was planning on replacing the pedal cam. Again, pedal cam right here. But then I ended up just hooking it up on this wave arm, and now I have a cockpit view. I don't really know if I'll keep it like that, but again, I had the ability on OSB Studio, so now I have a cockpit view when I'm streaming. If you are going to get into streaming, you're going to want a light or a key light. I already had this ring light. It's actually what I use to film all my videos. So again, it's on completely bright right now, but I usually place it right here next to the rig, and all I do is just point it at my face and I turn it down all the way so that it's not too bright, but it's still lighting up my face, and it seems to work completely fine. It takes away my green screen perfectly in OSB Studio and makes for a really clean output on my stream. Excuse the wiring, I have to do another big day of cleaning up the wires and routing the cables. But the last thing that I needed to make this work, technically this is something from my quality of life upgrades for the Stream Decks, but I was only able to hook up the new webcam using this Ugreen powered USB 3.0 hub. I'm sure a lot of people have hubs on their rigs. Up until now, I haven't had to use one. Anyway, that's basically all of the upgrades that I have made in my rig for streaming. I'm Bosco Too Fast. If you have any questions on the streaming setup or the gear, let me know and I will answer in the comments or make another video. I'm not going to get into how to use OSB Studio or anything. I just wanted to show you the upgrades that I made for streaming. If you like the content, please consider giving me a like and subscribe. And if you want to watch the full build video, then click this link next to the chimp. I'm Bosco Too Fast, and I'll see you next time. Peace.